Welcome to a calming journey with the eternal cycle of the phoenix. Tonight we embark upon a tranquil exploration of a mythical creature, renowned for its dance of flame and renewal. This tale gently guides us through the serene cycle of life, death, and rebirth, mirroring nature's timeless continuity. Let your mind drift and your spirit relax as we wander into a world where the phoenix's eternal story unfolds beneath the serene, slumbering desert. Now, let the tale unfold. As the first rays of the sun began their gentle ascent over the vast expanse of the desert, the world awakened from the long embrace of night. The dawn painted the horizon with hues of warm amber and golden light, slowly revealing the contours of a solitary palm tree. This was no ordinary tree. Ancient and sacred, it stood as a solitary sentinel amidst the endless sea of sand. Its tall, arching fronds whispered secrets of ages past, each leaf a testament to the cycles of life it had witnessed. Standing majestically against the vastness of its sandy domain, the tree was a beacon in an otherwise featureless landscape. This ancient palm was more than just a part of the scenery. It was the perennial home of the phoenix, the mythical creature of flame and rebirth. Nestled safely in the tree's highest fronds lay the slumbering phoenix, shielded from the world by the palm's nurturing embrace. For eons, the tree had provided refuge and shelter to this magnificent creature, creating a bond that transcended time. Its thick, gnarled roots stretched deep into the earth, anchoring the tree and embodying centuries of steadfastness. The phoenix, cradled within this stronghold of life, slept quietly, awaiting the inevitable call of destiny. Surrounding these two remarkable beings was the desert, a vast, undulating ocean of sand that seemed endless in its reach. Time flowed differently here, as if the world itself chose to move at a slower, more thoughtful pace. The air was still, save for the occasional breath of warm wind that danced lazily across the dunes. It was a place where silence reigned supreme, a timelessness that was both comforting and contemplative, inviting all who beheld it to pause and reflect. The palm tree, in its quiet dignity, offered a canopy of protection. Within this hallowed space, the phoenix lay, its vibrant feathers hidden from sight. It was a creature at peace, content in its slumber, comforted by the ancient tree's unwavering presence. Here, in the heart of the desert, life's continuity was affirmed, the tree playing both sanctuary and stage for the phoenix's eternal cycle. The roots of this sacred tree held tales older than memory, stories whispered through grains of sand. Anchoring deep into the heart of the earth, the tree symbolized resilience and continuity, standing firm amidst the shifting sands of time. Its steadfastness was a quiet promise, a reminder of nature's enduring rhythm, much like the cycle of the phoenix above. High above, the sun took its place as eternal witness and life-giver, casting a watchful eye over the desert and its inhabitants. Ever constant, it marked the passage of time with steady grace, warming the sands below and embracing the tree with life-affirming light. As the sun climbed higher, its rays lovingly reached the nest where the phoenix lay, reflecting in a dance of light across the silent wings of the sleeping creature. Within this tranquil setting, a quiet anticipation hung in the air. The slumbering phoenix, enveloped in centuries of tradition and expectation, carried within it the flame of renewal. Though still in its peaceful repose, the implicit promise of awakening was palpable. The sacred cycle was on the cusp of its next chapter, poised to reveal the miracle of rebirth and transformation. In this sacred corner of the world, a harmonious balance prevailed, where life and death danced in an eternal embrace. The stage was quietly set for the phoenix's inevitable rise, a serene prelude to the awakening that awaited. In this moment of calm and reflection, the listener is softly reminded of life's perpetual cycles, ever turning, yet eternally renewing. At the break of dawn, as the first golden rays stretched across the tranquil desert, they reached the solitary palm tree, casting a gentle glow upon the nest nestled within its ancient branches. It was here that the majestic phoenix lay nestled, its feathers beginning to shimmer with a spectrum of colors unseen in the world of mortals. Each filament of its plumage seemed to gather the light, transforming it into a vibrant tapestry of fiery reds, deep crimson, and radiant gold. This spectacle signified not just an awakening, but the unfolding of an ageless myth, interwoven with themes of life, death, and rebirth. As the warmth of the sun grew, coaxing the sands to life with its touch, the phoenix stirred from its deep slumber. Its elegant body, until now lying against the sacred tree in serene repose, began to move. With a whisper of movement, as gentle as the morning breeze that swept through the ancient branches, the phoenix slowly opened its eyes, revealing an intense, penetrating gaze that spoke of ancient wisdom and boundless endurance. With each deliberate blink, fire danced within those eyes, heralding the intimate connection between the phoenix and the eternal cycle it epitomized. Gradually, the very essence of fire began to envelop the phoenix, tender flames flickering along the edges of its wings and tail. This fire, far from an ordinary blaze, moved like a caress, illuminating its majestic form with a gentle embrace. It was a silent transformation, a beautiful manifestation of both destruction and creation. As the fire wrapped around its body, the phoenix stood with renewed vigor, each movement gracefully orchestrated, as if waltzing with the incandescence of life itself. In this awe-inspiring moment, the sacred palm tree provided an unwavering witness, its leaves rustling softly as if in quiet acknowledgement of the wondrous spectacle it sheltered. The tree, steadfast and ancient, had seen countless cycles of birth and rebirth, bearing silent testament to the continuity of the natural order. It remained a nurturing presence, offering a steady branch upon which the phoenix balanced, flames licking against its bark, yet leaving no injuries, for both were bound by nature's harmonious accord. With a gentleness befitting its regal presence, the phoenix extended its wings, magnificent arcs of color and flame reaching outwards. As it unfurled into its full splendor, the fire along its feathers intensified, a glowing testament to the beauty of transformative power. The air around it shimmered with waves of heat and light, promising the changes that loomed on the horizon, a silent vow of the metamorphosis yet to come. Every feather seemed alive, whispering secrets of renewal. In this sacred interplay of light and fire, the desert held its breath, enfolding the scene in silence, like a listener entranced by an ancient song. There was a potent presence in the air, a silent promise of transformation, sensed in the midst of the unfolding spectacle. Each flicker of flame, each graceful movement, reinforced the immutable truth. The phoenix's purpose was one of renewal, an eternal cycle that mirrored the sun's journey across the sky, the rising and setting, the constant return. As the dawn continued its ascent, the phoenix gathered its strength, poised for the journey ahead. The tree, the flames, and the desert together forged a harmonious tableau of resilience and hope. The moment pulsed with quiet energy, marking both an end and a beginning, the eternal cycle primed to unfold once more. And with this serene preparation, the phoenix stood ready for the skies, its journey an unspoken song of ancient rhythms, an ode to life continually reborn. As the first light of morning cast its golden hue over the expansive desert, the phoenix unfurled its majestic wings, ready to take flight. The gentle breeze carried a whisper of timelessness, wrapping the day in an aura of anticipation. With a graceful leap from its nest atop the sacred palm tree, the phoenix launched into the sky, its fiery plumage ablaze with life and light. Each stroke of its wings painted the heavens with trails of amber and gold, a vivid spectacle against the clear morning sky. The sun, ascending steadily, bathed the desert in its warm embrace, casting long, soft shadows that danced upon the vast sands. The phoenix, a creature of both flame and elegance, soared with a poise that seemed inherent to its nature. Its flight was not a mere passage through air. It was a dance, a harmonious movement with the rhythm of the earth and sky. The gentle crackling of flames accompanied its every soar, a melody of renewal echoing across the endless horizon. With each powerful wing beat, the phoenix illuminated the sands far below, the ground sparkling momentarily, as if adorned with countless ember fragments. The fiery glow of its feathers created a dazzling interplay of light and shadow, casting a vibrant mosaic upon the desert landscape. This act of flight, both art and necessity, symbolized the unbroken continuum of life, the never-ending cycle that the phoenix embodied so completely. High above, the sacred tree stood solitary, its ancient branches stretching towards the heavens as a beacon of endurance in life. The tree, unwavering in its ancient duty, had watched innumerable cycles of birth and rebirth. Even from this height, the phoenix felt the steadfast presence of its perennial home, an anchor in the ocean of time. This connection to its origin imbued the phoenix with strength and resolve, as reassuring as the sun itself. Caught in the gentle breath of the desert wind, the phoenix glided effortlessly through the sky. The currents of air caressed its feathers, a tender reminder of the world and its intricate web of interconnections. With each gust, the phoenix was reminded of the delicate balance it maintained with the elements, the fiery heart within, the cooling winds around, and the steadfast earth below. In this timeless dance with the elements, there was elegance beyond mere physical beauty. It was an elegance of purpose and destiny, of fulfilling a role so ancient that it transcended memory. The sight of the flaming creature gliding over the landscape was a testament to the soothing, inevitable rhythms of nature, a narrative of continuity that human words could capture only fleetingly. This flight, more than any other part of its cycle, encapsulated the essence of the phoenix. It was a moment where it was fully itself, unburdened by the ties of the past or the mysteries of the future. Here in the vast expanse between earth and sky, the phoenix was free, its soul alight with the knowledge of an eternal destiny. The sun, now fully risen, shone down upon the desert with a brilliance that matched the phoenix's own. Together, they wove a tapestry of light and warmth that reached every corner of the sandy expanse. The phoenix, buoyed by this celestial partnership, felt an assurance that traveled beyond its physical being, a promise whispered through time. And so, with each beat of its flaming wings, the phoenix glided toward the horizon, a symbol of hope and continuity. The sacred tree, silent yet ever attentive, continued to witness the age-old saga played out in the sky above. The cycle rolled on, an eternal story of death and rebirth, its narrative written in fire and light. As the phoenix soared, the air around it shimmered with the essence of tranquility and completeness. It was aware, in some deep and knowing part of itself, that its journey was leading toward a culmination. A grand, inevitable fusion of past and future awaited, nestled somewhere just beyond the warm brilliance of the sunlit sands. Caught in this moment of serene flight between start and endpoint, the phoenix carried within it the secret of eternity. Each feather alight with purpose, each movement an echo of countless cycles before it. The narrative of the phoenix was, and always would be, an endless circle, a truth known to both the creature and the world it danced upon. In the heart of the desert sky, the phoenix felt the pull of its destined path awaiting ahead. The flames that wrapped around its magnificent form began to shimmer more brightly, echoing the inner knowledge that its cycle was reaching its zenith. This realization did not cause fear or sorrow, but was met with an acceptance deep within the phoenix's timeless soul. It had journeyed through many lives before, each one a step in the endless dance of life, death, and rebirth. As the sun arced slowly across the cobalt sky, it cast long rays that danced across the sands below. The desert stretched out endlessly, its vastness a mirror to the limitless cycle of renewal that defined the Phoenix's existence. Below, the heat shimmered, but the desert itself seemed to hold its breath, aware of the profound moment approaching. The steady presence of the sun, unfaltering and constant, marked the hours that flowed by with a gentle rhythm. In this vast expanse, the Phoenix mused on the role the sun had always played, the constant watcher and life-giver witnessing each rise and fall. Recollections of past cycles fluttered through the Phoenix's mind, vivid as the flames around it. The memories were not merely nostalgic interludes, but rather affirmations of the role it played in the grand tapestry of existence. Each renewal was a fresh beginning, a reawakening not just for the Phoenix, but for the world around it. The cycles of life converged here with its own experiences, forming an intricate web of continuity. This reflection brought warmth and solace, a tranquil understanding that change was not an ending but a transformation. Far below, the ancient palm tree stood as a sentinel, its branches swaying softly in the desert breeze. For eons it had cradled the Phoenix's nest, providing shelter and solitude. The tree awaited the return of its fiery companion with quiet dignity, its roots intertwined with the sand and time itself. Their bond was a silent promise. The tree would always be there, its resilience mirroring the Phoenix's own. In this partnership, the tree embodied the notion that certain things, while enduring change, remain constant: a friend, a home, a guardian. As the flames intensified, the Phoenix began its gradual descent. It was a graceful glide, almost as if gravity had ceased to impose its will. The flames, once a gentle dance, now swirled in vibrant intensity, yet they remained a part of the Phoenix's essence, embracing rather than consuming. The descent was a tranquil acceptance of what was to come, a metaphorical bow to the inevitability of the cycle it cherished. The descent was marked not by sorrow, but by an unwavering tranquility. For the Phoenix, this was not an ending but a profound moment of transformation. It felt no fear, only an overwhelming sense of peace and fulfillment as it prepared to succumb to its fiery end. In this calm acceptance, the Phoenix found its strength, preparing to give way to a process older than time itself. As the sacred palm tree loomed closer, the flame's glow cast mesmerizing patterns on the desert floor. The vibrancy of the fire spoke of a transition celebrated rather than mourned. The Phoenix knew that soon the flames would consume it, transforming existence into ashes, from which life would once again emerge. This thought brought a peace akin to gentle slumber, serene and undisturbed. Throughout the descent, there was a quiet reflection on the inevitability and beauty of change. The Phoenix accepted it as a compassionate certainty, a reminder that all life is interconnected, bound by threads of creation and renewal. With wings outstretched and eyes closed, the Phoenix focused on this acceptance, its heart a gentle beat in harmony with the universe's own rhythms. And so, with each beat of its wings, the Phoenix approached the moment where fire would become ash, only to rise anew. The circle was coming full, and with it, the reassurance that life, even in its most fiery end, is but a beginning cloaked in transformation. As the flames grew brighter, the Phoenix felt a deep sense of completion, a fulfillment of its role in the eternal dance of time. With an inward exhale of profound peace, it glided toward the ground, enveloped by the blaze that signified impending rebirth. The sacred palm tree, steadfast and ancient, awaited as ever, ready to cradle the reborn Phoenix from the ashes of its previous self. This descent was merely a part of a larger journey, an integral step toward the promise of new life. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Painting the desert sky with strokes of orange and red, the phoenix lowered its wings and gently descended upon the sacred palm tree. This perennial sanctuary welcomed its eternal inhabitant with open branches, holding the wisdom of cycles past and the promise of those yet to come. The desert lay quiet, in awe of the magnificent descent, watching as the eternal dance of life and transformation unfolded once more. Here, at the base of the palm tree, the flames that wrapped around the phoenix began to dance more fervently, a fiery cocoon heralding change. Encircled by glowing embers, the phoenix settled among its past ashes with serene acceptance. The combustion of its fiery form was not an end, but a precursor to the promise of renewal. With eyes reflecting a tranquil readiness, the phoenix lay down upon the earth. Its majestic plumage shimmered, illuminating the scene with a soothing warmth that seemed to speak of eternity. It accepted its fate with the calm knowledge that from these flames would emerge life anew, unbroken, and unyielding. The engulfing flames swirled around the phoenix, tender yet relentless. Each flicker was a testimony to the power of transformation, consuming what was in preparation for what would be. The sacred tree stood firm, its ancient wisdom offering protection and witness to the eternal process. This was not a time for mourning, but a moment of profound respect for the continuity of life. The promise held in the ashes was far greater than that lost to the flames. Reflecting on the essence of renewal, the phoenix surrendered to the purification fire. From the ashes of its past life, the transformational cycle would bring forth a rebirth, epitomizing resilience and continuity. With each dance of flame, the concept of change was magnified, a gentle reminder that creation cannot exist without destruction, and renewal springs from surrender. Silent yet powerful, these flames represented a bridge between one life and the next. As the fire consumed, a tangible emptiness remained in the once lively nest. An emptiness that spoke of potential rather than loss, with quiet waiting filling the space left behind. This void was not without meaning. It was a pause in the cycle, allowing nature to work its wondrous craft. The sacred palm tree continued to watch over the deserted nest, a quiet sentinel amidst the transformative journey of its mythical resident. Above, the sun hovered as the constant, unyielding witness of these cycles. With the unwavering passage of time, it silently marked the occasion, bathing the landscape in a soft, enduring light. Here in the desert's embrace, the arrival of twilight signified both an end and a beginning, reflecting the seamless continuum of nature's rhythm. Unchanging yet ever rejuvenating, the sun bore witness as it would countless times more, underscoring the relentless beauty of eternal cycles. As the last flickers faded, the sacred tree silhouetted against the brightness of consumed flames became the sole figure in a serene tableau. Its steadfast presence whispered of enduring support, biding its time until rebirth would reignite the nest's vibrant life. A respectful calm enveloped the scene, setting the stage for the next chapter in this mythic life cycle. The ashes spoke volumes, whispering promises of renewal carried on the gentle desert breeze, hinting at the miracle that lay ahead. In the synchrony of nature's rhythm, one cycle gracefully concluded as another patiently awaited its dawn. Without pause or hurry, the eternal cycle unfolded, preparing to rise from the silence of ashes. This serene combustion set the scene for the phoenix's rebirth, a narrative of hope and enduring strength awaiting its time to emerge from the stillness, ready to glide once more on the wings of a renewal. As the sun gently dipped below the horizon, casting twilight shadows across the desert, the sacred palm tree stood sentinel over the remnants of the mighty phoenix. The ashes spread beneath its boughs were cold and still, a testament to the transformation that had taken place. The quiet desert seemed to hold its breath, respecting the solemnity of the scene. Here, In this tranquil corner of the world, silence prevailed, interrupted only by the soft murmur of the desert breeze whispering through the palm leaves. Those ashes, dark and dormant, symbolized the eternal cycle of life and rebirth. Once a vessel of fiery vitality, the phoenix lay still, reduced to fine dust that covered the ground like a shroud woven by nature. Yet hidden within this apparent demise was the seed of renewal, a truth understood by the desolate landscape and the ever-watchful sun casting long shadows over the sands. Like the promise held within a dying star, these ashes were potent with the promise of rebirth. The sacred palm tree, steadfast and ancient, remained a silent guardian over the phoenix remains. With its roots reaching deep into the earth, the tree was a living testament to endurance and life's persistence against the starkness of the desert. It had witnessed countless cycles of flame and rebirth, and now stood as a quiet sentinel, offering refuge and hope for the return to life. Its presence offered solace, a reminder that the cycle's end was merely a prelude to a new beginning. There was a palpable sense of sadness mingling with hope around the scene. The emptiness felt at the loss of such a majestic creature was tempered by an undercurrent of expectation. Nature whispered its secrets in the stillness, revealing the quiet anticipation of rebirth waiting to unfurl from the ashes. It was a promise, heard only in the heart's hushed tones, that the phoenix would rise once again, restored and renewed. As twilight deepened, the sun's last rays painted the landscape with soft, warm hues. Shadows stretched long and thin across the ash-covered ground, marking the passing of another cycle and heralding the waiting miracle of revival. Above this scene, the night sky slowly revealed its tapestry of stars, illuminating the desert with its gentle glow and inviting the promise of tomorrow's renewal. Though the phoenix was now absent, the presence of life persisted in every breath of wind and every rustle of the palm tree. A silent dialogue unfolded between the earth and sky, witnessed by the sacred tree and the omnipresent sun. Even in the quiet of the desert, the cycle of nature continued its course, undisturbed and inevitable, offering tranquility and certainty to those who understood its quiet rhythm. As the night grew deeper, there was an unmistakable sense that beneath the cold ashes, life lingered, waiting for the right moment to emerge. The scene held a quiet expectancy, as if the entire desert was poised on the brink of a miracle. This unspoken anticipation was nature's subtle acknowledgement that even in apparent endings lay the threads of new beginnings. In the stillness, the sacred palm tree seemed to whisper of the renewal soon to come. The desert's quietness hinted at the cyclical dance of life, death, and rebirth. Here, amidst the ashes, lay the silent prelude to the phoenix renewal, held in the breath of the earth and the gentle lullaby of the stars above. Soon, nature's cycle would unfold again, sending forth the first stirrings of rebirth from the long darkened ashes. The sacred palm tree stood vigil, its ancient roots wrapped around time itself, holding a silent dialogue with destiny. The desert, cloaked in the tranquility of early night, cradled the promise of renewal, whispering softly with the winds that swept gently across the sands. Beneath the tree, the ashes lay dormant, a quiet testament to the phoenix's eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It was here, in this cradle of transformation, where traces of warmth began to flicker within the ashes, casting a gentle glow against the night. As the wind swirled around the base of the ancient palm, tiny flames began to dance amidst the ashes, a delicate ballet of light and heat. These flames, feasting quietly on what remained, grew with tender encouragement from the breezes that seemed to carry whispers of rebirth across the desert. Each flicker of flame whispered promises of renewal, speaking of nature's unfaltering cycles, hinting at the rebirth that awaited. The sacred tree, its towering presence like a guardian of change, watched over the tiny inferno, nurturing the rebirth being woven in the heart of the desert land. Against the backdrop of the desert's eternal dusk, a small form started to take shape within the gentle embrace of flames. Gradually, inch by inch, the silhouette of the phoenix emerged from the ashes, a creature born again from its own demise. The breeze, ever gentle, caressed the flames, coaxing them higher as if encouraging the phoenix's return. The sacred palm tree stood steadfast, offering an embrace of support to the emerging life, an assurance that this miracle of rebirth was indeed a promise fulfilled. The quiet desert seemed to hum with a serene promise of renewal as the air vibrated with anticipation. The sun, still a distant slumbering presence, began to reach with its delicate rays towards the ground. As the rays pierced through the shadows, infusing them with warmth, light cascaded upon the ashes, breathing life into the soft embers struggling to ignite the phoenix's new form. Here, under the attentive gaze of both the sun and tree, the silhouette of the phoenix matured, growing firmer, more defined. Bit by bit, the phoenix's form became more tangible, its essence fueled by the fiery dance that continued to unfold at the base of its perpetual home. The light from the sun, mingling with the glow of the nascent flames, illuminated the emerging shape, a reminder that life never truly ends, but fades to be born again. And as the phoenix took shape, the air around it seemed to sing softly of hope, a lullaby of the timeless cycles that governed life. With each passing moment, as the tiny flickers grew stronger and more vibrant, the promise of rebirth filled the air, mingling with the hopeful whispers carried by the desert winds. Though still fragile, the phoenix's emerging form spoke of the transitioning dance of renewal, a gentle crescendo that heralded the miraculous return of life from the ashes. As the phoenix's silhouette solidified, as its wings began to stretch towards the horizon, there was an overwhelming sense of anticipation, a contentment that this cycle of rebirth was unfolding once again. The sacred palm tree, firm in its position as both sanctuary and witness, embraced the new beginning with the calm of old wisdom. Beneath its boughs, the phoenix's silhouette, now distinct against the glow of infant flames, stood as a testament to nature's endless promise, a cycle without end, eternal and ever-renewing. Thus, as the night deepened around the desert, a whisper of life grew louder in this mystical place, weaving the first threads of the rebirth yet to fully manifest. With a gentle certainty, the scene awaited the next chapter in the phoenix's story journey. As twilight surrendered to the deep embrace of night, the desert held its breath in silence. Nestled at the base of the sacred palm tree, the ashes began to pulse with an inner light, growing stronger with each passing moment. Bright tongues of flame swirled and flickered, reshaping themselves around the silhouette of a majestic creature taking form once again. The sacred tree, an ancient guardian and resolute witness, stood steadfast, its branches reaching skyward as if to cradle the emerging life. Within the cradle of flames, the shape of the phoenix became unmistakable. A majestic bird of fire and radiance, it slowly rose from the ashes, the flames revealing not just its outline, but the intricate beauty that defined the creature. Its feathers gleamed with a brilliance that rivaled the sun, each plume appearing to be forged from molten gold and ruby, alive with the fire of renewal. The phoenix stood tall and new, the embodiment of rebirth, its eyes gleaming with ancient wisdom and newfound vigor. The sacred palm tree, ever supportive, stood as a pillar of strength and stability amid the miraculous emergence. A silent sentinel, it absorbed the light of the phoenix into its own being, as if drawing energy from the very essence of life itself. The phoenix stretched its gleaming wings, each powerful movement throwing radiant shadows across the desert sands, reminiscent of its unending cycle of renewal. With a mighty beat of its wings, the phoenix cast a gust of warmth across the quiet sands, causing ripples to dance like playful phantoms over the desert skin. This movement, both gentle and powerful, spoke of the phoenix's strength and the boundless possibilities of a new beginning. It was a moment that celebrated the sheer beauty and grace of renewal, a joyful continuation of life's eternal cycle. The miracle of rebirth had reached its crescendo, leaving a profound sense of continuity hanging in the air. In the quiet aftermath, the desert felt transformed, illuminated by the phoenix's inner glow, which seemed to lend its fiery luminescence to the surrounding world. The heart of the desert pulsed with life, and every grain of sand glittered with the promise of regeneration, as though echoing the very pulse of the phoenix itself. This brilliant luminescence was not just a visual spectacle, it was an emanation of the phoenix's renewed purpose. Its determination to continue the eternal cycle of life was palpable, resonating through the night air like a hymn whispered by ancient winds. The renewed creature stood, a living testament to transformation and continuity, fully embodying the legendary resilience of its myth. Within this glowing tableau, a deep sense of completion and purpose settled, wrapping the desert landscape in a gentle, celebratory embrace. The palm tree's reassuring presence, the phoenix's majestic form, and the serene desert collectively exuded a harmonious song of life's unending rhythms. The night sky seemed to echo this harmony, the stars twinkling gently in silent accord. With its rebirth complete, the phoenix looked to the horizon with bright, knowing eyes. It understood that this cycle was not merely a repetition, but a perpetual renewal, a constant reminder of nature's enduring promise. As the flames settled into a calming glow, the night continued quietly, embracing the presence of this mythical being, as if cradling a beloved old friend. In this serene night, the phoenix stood poised, fully aware of its completion and readiness for another journey. As it spread its vibrant wings once more, a whisper of joy filled the air, a soft echo of the celebration within its heart. The great bird of legend had risen again, a triumphant symbol of nature's ability to renew, to give birth, and to foster light in the midst of darkness. As the darkness of night gradually surrendered to the gentle embrace of dawn, the phoenix, newly reborn and resplendent in fiery plumage, hovered above its ancient home, the sacred palm tree. The serene morning light played across its glossy feathers, casting a golden hue that seemed to connect with the very warmth of the rising sun. The phoenix breathed in deeply, feeling the invigorating strength coursing through its new form. Each feather, an instrument of rebirth, shimmered with a vitality that only a freshly awakened soul could possess. Below, the sacred tree stood, a stoic sentinel amidst the timeless desert landscape, bearing witness to yet another cycle completed. For centuries untold, it had been the harbor of transformation, offering its nurturing branches to the phoenix through countless renewals. The intertwining roots beneath it, strong and unbroken, symbolized an unyielding continuity that was mirrored in the phoenix's journey. As the bird paused in mid-air, it seemed to offer a silent acknowledgement to its steadfast companion. In this tranquil moment, a profound sense of gratitude welled within the heart of the majestic avian creature. The desert stretched out endlessly around them, a realm of quiet beauty and reflection where the sands whispered secrets of ancient times. Here, beneath the vast azure sky, the phoenix found solace in the interconnectedness of all things. The tree, the desert, the sun, all played their part in the seamless tapestry of life, death, and rebirth. The first soft rays of the sun, with its constant enduring light, reached out to greet the reborn phoenix, painting the sky with hues of hope and renewal. This celestial fire had borne witness to the cycle countless times, and yet with each dawn, it offered the warmth of welcome and the promise of another day. The phoenix understood the significance of this greeting, an affirmation of the journey it embraced. As the phoenix prepared for its ascent into the vast sky, there was a moment of introspection, a recognition of the cycle it would continue. It was more than a succession of events. It was an eternal dance where each step led inevitably to another, where endings were beginnings in disguise. This awareness, a gift from countless rebirths, filled it with a hopeful resolve. Reflecting deeper, the phoenix saw with clarity that its existence was woven into the fabric of the cosmos, an intricate pattern where life and death held hands in eternal reverence. It considered the rhythm of nature, this beautiful symphony where all played their roles. The sun was no mere spectator. It was the conductor of this magnificent orchestra, guiding each note and pause with precision. With a final look to the horizon, the phoenix hovered, its wings unfurled, spanning the breadth of the desert's breath. Each golden feather shimmered against the backdrop of the awakening sky, encapsulating the fire of the past and the promise of what was to come. It was a gesture of acknowledgement not only to its timeless nest but to the sacred tree and the infinite stretch of the desert that had cradled its many transformations. In the final moments of reflection, an unspoken vow passed between the phoenix and its environment. The sacred tree, in its enduring wisdom, conveyed a deep understanding. Life's transitory nature was not a thing to mourn, but to celebrate, for through change lay the continuity that ensured all things remained intertwined in their purpose. Now, with gratitude anchoring its heart and resolve guiding its wings, the phoenix took a final glance at its cherished home. It basked in the gentle warmth of the sun's embrace, feeling the desert wind that had been its lifelong accomplice in stories of ascent and descent. Preparing to embrace the sky once more, its spirit soared ahead, illuminated by the knowledge that this cycle of life and rebirth was unending and beautiful. The wings of the phoenix swept wide as it ascended, a glorious being of flame and grace, ready to continue its eternal journey. The sacred tree, a steadfast guardian, stood silently, its branches twisting proudly towards the heavens, a perpetual admirer of the cycle's continuity. And as the sun climbed higher, casting its light generously across the sands, the sky welcomed another day of radiant continuity, echoing with the promise of renewal. The phoenix, in an expression of homage and anticipation, ascended toward the broad canvas of the sunlit sky, leaving behind the gentle whisper of a new beginning, intertwined with the legacy of all that came before. With a gentle yet powerful motion, the phoenix unfurled its newly reborn wings, feeling the warmth of the morning sun enveloping its vibrant plumage. The energy coursing through its veins seemed to pulse in harmony with the ancient rhythms of the desert. The air was crisp and clear, offering a perfect canvas for its grand re-entry into the endless sky. With a confidence harking back to countless cycles past, the phoenix launched itself skyward, shaking off the last remnants of its rebirth. As the phoenix ascended, the clarity and vigor of its flight became an exuberant display of nature's perpetual renewal. Each beat of its wings seemed both a farewell to the ashes that had cradled it and a greeting to the sky that welcomed its return. The flames that danced along its feathers trailed like a comet, casting warm reflections on the desert sands far below. This fiery trail marked not just its path through the sky, but also the continuity of a story told through countless horizons, a testament to transformation and renewal carried by every renewed flight. Below, the vast expanses of the desert spread out in endless waves, each sand dune carved by time and the patient fingers of the wind. The phoenix, in its radiant flight, illuminated this landscape, offering glimpses of golden hues against the soft, sandy canvas. It was as if the desert, momentarily awakened from its timeless slumber, took on a softer glow, inspired by the vibrant presence soaring above it. In this moment, earth and sky danced together, intertwined in a harmony crafted by the ever-repeating cycle that the phoenix epitomized. The phoenix embraced the boundless possibilities of its flight, feeling an uncontainable freedom that came with knowing the past had been left in the ashes and the future lay uncharted before it. The heavens stretched out infinitely, inviting exploration and the continuation of the ancient story it was destined to live. The flames trailing behind it wrote arcs of wonder across the morning sky, declaring the ceaseless energy and life that characterized its existence. High above, the sentinel palm tree, a steadfast witness to countless cycles of life and rebirth, remained a quiet presence on the horizon. Though distant now, its nurturing spirit reached out, ensuring that the phoenix, ever a child of its branches and roots, remained connected to its origins. This skyward journey, undertaken under the watchful eyes of sun and tree, was an experience not only of escape but also of faithful return. And in that duality lay the essence of the phoenix journey. Flying was not just a release. It was a reaffirmation that nature's rhythms continued unabated, a reminder that though the phoenix ascended, its story was never a solitary one. Above the desert, amidst the boundless blue, it found kinship with the wind and the sky, its fiery feathers a reminder of nature's eternal promise. From fire to ashes, from death to life, the cycle flows on unbroken. The phoenix was not merely returning to flight. It was fulfilling a destiny as ancient as the sands beneath it and as bright as the flames it carried. In this brilliant morning moment, there was no room for doubt. Everything was alive, vibrant with the continuation of an ancient promise. The phoenix knew its purpose, its place amid the eternal dance of life and transformation. Each graceful sweep across the sky carried with it the stories of past cycles and the anticipation of those yet to come. The inexhaustible journey was its own reward, grounding its purpose in the beauty of movement, of being part of something far grander than itself. As it soared higher, the landscape below grew distant, yet the connection remained. The sacred tree, mere specks on the horizon now, tethered it with invisible roots that prompted a silent promise of future returns. Nature's endless cycle allowed the phoenix this transient freedom, knowing that rebirth would always call it back when the time was right. Until that call, the skies were its realm, an empire of air and light where possibility knew no bounds. And so, as the morning sun reached its zenith, the phoenix, radiant, reborn, and resilient, soared towards the heavens. The desert sands, now mere whispers amidst the clouds, continued their eternal shift, waiting for the inevitable touch of feathers and flame to once more grace their surface. The phoenix's flight was one of joy and vigor, a dance in the sky that only those ancient wandering eyes could understand. Nature's cycle moved onward, unstoppable, unchanged, yet always renewed. This flight marked the continuation of an ancient story, one that echoed across centuries. As the phoenix rode the wind, it seemed to sing a silent ode to life, a heartfelt acknowledgement that within its flames lay the truth of endless wonder. The chapter was complete, yet the story never truly ended. For within this flight resided the promise of countless journeys, the assurance of return, of rebirth, time and again. With a last, powerful sweep of its wings, the phoenix flung itself toward the horizon, certain of one thing: the cycle would continue. And so would it. In the afternoon glow of the ever-present sun, the phoenix flew gracefully through the endless sky, the desert below stretching vast and eternal. In this expanse of golden sands and whispering winds, the majestic creatures savored the view beneath, each grain of sand telling silent tales of time and endurance. As it soared, the phoenix's keen eyes swept over rolling dunes and shadowy crevices, a testament to the resilient spirit of nature's unending dance. The journey of the phoenix was one deeply entrenched in purpose. At the soul of its every flight lay an understanding of its role in maintaining the balance of life and renewal. The endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth was written into the fibers of its being, a cosmic rhythm that pulsed with the beating of its radiant heart. Through each cycle, the phoenix mirrored the constancy of nature, each flight a pledge to the eternal dance of creation and dissolution. High above, the The sun moved steadily across the azure vault, an omnipresent guardian of the skies, casting its warm embrace upon both creature and desert. With each arc it traced, the sun mirrored the journey of the phoenix below, embedding within this celestial dance the silent recognition of their intertwined destinies. This unspoken dialogue between the sun and the phoenix affirmed the timeless continuity that was essence of the universe's grand design. Far below, the sacred palm tree stood as a perennial guardian, rooted deeply in the ever-shifting sands, waiting steadfastly for the phoenix's eventual return. With branches whispering in the gentle winds, the ancient tree maintained its vigil, reminding the phoenix of the home it would once more embrace. In the quiet certainty of its unmoving limbs, the tree mirrored the patience of the eternal cycle, a silent promise of stability amidst change. As the phoenix glided on, it reflected on the myriad cycles it had completed, each one a tapestry woven of old experiences and new beginnings. Memories of previous lives enriched its present journey, whispering of the past, yet welcoming the unknown future. It pondered the unbroken chain of rebirths yet to come, each continuation a vital note in the symphony of existence. There was comfort in this continuity, assuring it of a place in the universe's grand narrative. In these moments, a profound sense of acceptance reshaped the heart of the phoenix. There was no anxiety over what lay ahead, nor sorrow for cycles gone by, only serene acknowledgement of its role within the intricate web of life. To live, to transform, and to renew, it was a destiny embraced with quiet grace, much like a gentle breath of air floating through the open sky. The vast desert below was an echo of the phoenix's internal quietude, stretching infinitely like the boundless possibilities held within each cycle. The tranquility of the desert reflected the calm and measured rhythm of the phoenix's journey. In this stillness, the phoenix found a mirror for its own heart, one beating in tandem with the larger rhythms of creation itself. As it flew onward, the phoenix was enveloped by a timeless understanding of its place within the spiral of life. There was neither beginning nor end, only the continuance of a noble journey that would unfold anew with each beat of its fiery wings. The timelessness permeated the air, affirming not just the phoenix path, but the cycles that govern all things. As this leg of its journey neared culmination, the phoenix prepared with calm assurance for the next phase of its cycle. The sun's journey would edge closer to its own zenith, and the sacred tree would stand ready, a beacon guiding it through the familiar dance of endings and new dawns. With each flap of its wings, the phoenix moved in harmony with its destiny, guided by the perpetual promise written in the tapestry of the cosmos. As the phoenix soared across the tranquil desert skies, its fiery plumage casting a vibrant glow akin to the waning sun, it began to circle back towards the sacred palm tree that stood sturdy and wise in the welcome embrace of its ancient roots. The vast expanse of sand below whispered tales of eternal cycles, and the phoenix, feeling the life-giving strength of its wings, understood the significance of its timeless journey. In the quiet rhythm of its flight, the phoenix reflected on the continuity of life, and how each end carried with it the promise of a fresh beginning. The sun lowered gently in the sky, its color shifting to a deep orange, bathing the desert landscape in a soft golden light. As the day began to fade into the vibrant hues of dusk, the phoenix felt an overwhelming sense of completion filling its heart, a serene acknowledgement of the role it played in the delicate dance of life and renewal. The sacred tree, which had always been a steadfast witness to this perpetual cycle, seemed to reach out to the phoenix as if ready to embrace its return. With graceful ease, the phoenix descended, its fiery plumage shimmering against the backdrop of the setting sun, casting silhouettes of beauty upon the timeless sands. The sacred palm tree stood ready to welcome the phoenix back to the nest it called home, displaying its nurturing strength and warmth. As the phoenix landed gently, settling into the comforting cradle of its nest, the quiet of the desert amplified the harmony in its heart, a testament to the continuity of life found within endings and new beginnings. The calm atmosphere embraced the eternal ritual as the sun dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a trail of golden hues that stretched across the sky. In the nest, the phoenix felt the peaceful pulse of existence enveloping it wholly, the cycles that wound nature's thread, eternally moving in patterns of endless renewal. The desert was awash in the remaining warmth of the day, an emblem of promise and fulfillment, enriching the timeless space where the phoenix and its sacred tree continued to exist. Reflecting on its place within this ancient narrative, the phoenix acknowledged the everlasting bond it shared with its surroundings. Life, death, and rebirth held the essence of continuity, a promise that echoed within the very fibers of its being. The serene solemnity of the desert, the watchful sun, and the nurturing tree crafted a story written in the language of eternity, welcoming the phoenix with open arms each time it returned to nest. As the star-speckled sky draped its gentle cloak over the desert, the phoenix closed its eyes, knowing the cycle would begin anew with the rise of the next dawn. In the realm of the sacred, amidst the whispering sands and enduring silence, the phoenix found peace. The quiet assurance of nature's perpetual cycles touched the air with gentle reverence, blessing this moment with a soothing promise of life that, through its endings, would always lead to new beginnings.